just wanted to say a couple of words about Russian real estate market and what's happening for the moment, and with real estate, what happens with rates, what happens with the general market conditions, investments, etc. So I will be quite brief in that presentation. As you probably know, during say last year, Russia significantly dropped in the an economy, both economy, currency, actually, and of course investment inflow into the Russian market, and first of all into the real estate market. As you know, probably this year's GDP is going to be either negative or very close to at least zero, but probably close to negative figures, and let's face it, it's obvious market conditions for the moment. As you know, once again, the currency of the Russian rubles, they dropped more than 2 times during just 1 year, basically. But it depends from which side to take a look at this. And on the one side it's dropped, and on the other side everything became cheaper 2 times. And here's the volume. As you see, that we could probably have somewhere around $3 billion in investments into real estate market this year. Let's face it, it's just probably the worst year since 2006 probably. So basically even 2009 was not much, but definitely better, because as for the moment it's $2.2 billion invested into Russian real estate, maybe, of course mostly into Moscow real estate. If we'll speak about the capital origin, it looks like again this picture changes from day to day. It's for the moment it's say 72% of internal investments versus international investments, and of course international, again, in most cases, not in most, but in major cases, even international investments, it's basically domestic one, but they comes through other countries, sometimes, for example, through Switzerland funds like UG does, and some other guys does, and etc. So basically it's quite obvious. And on the next slide you can see that yes, so basically 70% of the Russian cash flow and currently is dominating, and all the rest is in most cases is it's split between say Germany, US, and some other countries. If we'll go to investor time, again it's less as because the market uncertainty is so high for the moment. That's why, of course, the less institutional investors in the market, basically less financial institutions, less investment funds, etc., and more like a private equity, confidential, so-called confidential. Basically, it's internal money that's coming. No, not everyone understands where it comes from, but still, there is such potential investor in the market. Investment purposes, again, so it's mainly investments. Some end users, and it's become more and more popular for end users to. I will give you one example. Our client of Colliers, just this year they bought an offices for themselves, basically 5,000 square meters of office space for themselves, with a $2,000 per square meter, basically. But the same office just 1 year ago costed $5,000-6,000, basically in US dollars for the companies who have the money in dollars. It's quite very reasonable for the moment to invest. That's why actually a lot of companies say where real estate is not core stuff for them, but they prefer to invest in order to not to, because it's quite interesting from the comparing rental versus buying offices for themselves. So for the moment it's quite a lot of companies and more companies going to the sector. Deal size, as you see, there is much less deals that are bigger, like more than $1 billion or more than 300 million, as it was, for example, in 2010, 2011, 2012. A lot of deals was with a volume size more than 300. This year it's 0, but at the same time there is more deals, like 50% of the deals that are between 100 and 300 million dollars. So basically, again, in most cases, a local cash flow that's coming to the real estate. So basically, of course, for the moment, investors prefer standing assets. They're less interested in development, something risky, because of quite huge market uncertainty. So, as a last statement I'd like to tell is probably that for the moment it's definitely it's very attractive market to invest in. It's probably one of the most attractive for the moment in say European Union, and outside European Union, I would say Europe in general. At the same time, there is a quite big market uncertainty, and to be honest, nobody understands where is the bottom. So probably who will understand first where is the bottom and invest in the right moment definitely will win. So here is the brief market snapshot. Thank you.
Right.